I rise today to speak briefly on the full bill before the Senate and more extensively on a section of this bill that I've been working on diligently to improve. I first of all want to commend the authors of this bill. I have been through complex legislation before, and this is a very complex issue. And I know how hard the so-called Gang of Eight has worked, and you can't please everybody in any complex piece of legislation. But I think they have done a very credible job of putting together a piece of legislation that at least we could get to the floor for debate. I think having this bill on the floor is causing us to have a very important debate that is long overdue. We all know our immigration system is broken and we need to fix it. However, I am disappointed that we have not been able to have a full and open debate on potential solutions to fix the system. I have stated publicly that I have serious concerns with several provisions in the bill, including some related to border security triggers, interior enforcement, and the program designed to address our agricultural labor workforce. And that last topic, agricultural labor, is what I want to spend the majority of my time on tonight discussing. But before I focus on the ag piece of this bill, I just have to say that I am terribly disappointed and frustrated at the way this bill has played out. I'm about to talk for several minutes or so straightforward common sense amendments to the agriculture portion of the bill. I've been working on ag immigration reform for nearly all of my time in Congress, both in the House and in the Senate. That's a total of going on 19 years. This is an issue that I care deeply about because I come from the heart of ag country in South Georgia. But guess what? I'm not going to have a chance to vote on any of my amendments, not because they are poison pill amendments. They're not. Not because many of my colleagues don't agree with the changes that I'm suggesting. Many actually do. It's because the sanctity of a deal has been given precedence over sound policy. And let me say that again. The sanctity of a deal is being given higher priority over sound policy. Now, I'm not on the Judiciary Committee, and the chairman of the Judiciary Committee was down here a little earlier talking about everybody had the opportunity in the committee to file amendments. They had over 300 or so, and that's well and good. And I am glad this bill went through regular order. I wish every bill that came to the floor of this Senate would go through that same regular order. But I'm also not a member of the Gang of Eight, so I have not had the opportunity to have input on this bill. Nevertheless, I reached out in a constructive way to various folks to try to make some changes to the bill. And I particularly want to thank my colleagues, Senator Graham, Senator Rubio, Senator Bennett, and Senator Schumer, and their staffs for working tirelessly and in good faith with me to try to make some improvements to the bill. I thought we were making progress, and I think actually we did. But now I understand that one or two members who want to prevent that this bill from happening, and so I am not going to be given the opportunity to have my amendments called up. But what I can do and what I will do is highlight to my colleagues here and to my friends in the House of Representatives who may or may not take up this issue, the problems I see with the ag portion of this bill. The agriculture portion of this bill has not been discussed extensively here on the floor, but it is vitally important to all Americans. Farmers and ranchers in the United States produce the highest quality food and fiber in the world. The continued safety of the agricultural goods produced in the United States is an issue not just of convenience, but of national security. Due to the importance of food safety, it is critical to know who is handling our nation's food supply and who is working on our nation's farms and ranches. Additionally, if our farmers and ranchers cannot access a stable and legal workforce, they will be forced to downsize or eliminate their U.S. operations, and that is happening today. This leads to more of the food we eat being imported from other countries, and I want to make sure that we do everything we can from a policy standpoint to keep that food and fiber production right here in the United States. Today, the majority of immigrant agricultural workers are undocumented. We need both secure borders and put in place an immigration system that allows those who seek to come to the United States to work in the diverse sectors of the agricultural industry to do so legally. H-2A is the current Ag Guest Worker Program in force in the United States today. And I've been working on H-2A reform since I came to Congress, not only because Georgia's farmers are among the largest users of the program, but because it is clear to me that the current program is cumbersome and difficult to use, as well as expensive. My colleagues who drafted this bill have included many reforms to the Agricultural Guest Worker Program, and several of these reforms do take a needed step in the right direction. However, there are several areas that remain troublesome to me, and so I am proposing amendments to address some specific areas.